Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you weren't important to others? Have you ever excelled at a task, had a brilliant idea, or performed a valuable service for someone, only to receive no recognition? Dealing with this can be quite challenging. Unfortunately, even when you act correctly, make the best choices for everyone, and make yourself available to others, people may not always acknowledge your true worth. In fact, if you keep trying to please those who don't give you the recognition you deserve, you might end up feeling disheartened. This is especially disheartening when it involves someone close to you, such as family, friends, or a partner. According to Stoic philosophy, we shouldn't expect recognition from others because it's beyond our control, and such recognition may not always occur. Therefore, you shouldn't wait for it, as that's a recipe for frustration. However, there are ways to become a priority in someone's life and gain recognition. By understanding and applying the following steps, it's possible to achieve this. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you could like the video to help me continue spreading Stoic philosophy. If you're not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. Step 1. Creating the fear of losing you. This initial step employs a powerful psychological strategy to establish your significance in someone's life. The aim is to evoke a sense of unease within them, prompting them to recognize and prioritize your connection. However, it's imperative to approach this technique with delicacy and equilibrium to prevent inadvertently alienating them. Initiate this process by gradually and subtly creating emotional distance, sharing fewer of your personal feelings and intimate details, allowing for a subtle shift in the level of intimacy. This adjustment conveys the message that your emotional availability may not be as readily accessible as before. In parallel, distribute your time more evenly among various people and activities in your life. This demonstrates that your attention is not exclusively centered on them, prompting them to acknowledge that they are not the sole focus of your time and energy. This shift can effectively lead them to re-evaluate the significance of your presence in their life. It's paramount to exercise this technique with prudence, as overuse could result in the unintended consequence of further distancing the person. Striking the right balance is imperative to maintain the effectiveness of this approach. Step 2. Avoid being always available. This step emphasizes the importance of valuing quality interactions over sheer quantity of time spent together in relationships. If you aspire to hold a prominent place in someone's life, it may be necessary to adjust your availability. This shift can lead them to place a higher value on your presence. By being less readily available, you send a powerful message that your time and company are precious. This encourages the other person to recognize and appreciate the moments you do spend together, creating a sense of anticipation and significance around the times you do connect. It fosters a deeper appreciation for the quality of your interactions. Remember, it's not about completely withdrawing or becoming distant, but rather about finding a healthy balance that allows for meaningful and cherished moments together. This adjustment can lead to a stronger sense of value and priority in the relationship for both parties involved. Step 3. Maintain some mystery. This step underscores the power of maintaining a certain level of enigma in relationships. Allowing a sense of mystery to linger can be a powerful tool in establishing your presence as a priority. It involves being strategic about how much you reveal about yourself upfront, opting instead to keep the other person curious and engaged rather than divulging every detail about yourself immediately. Consider offering tantalizing glimpses into your personality, interests, and experiences. This gradual disclosure keeps the other person intrigued and eager to learn more. It fosters a sense of discovery and keeps the relationship dynamic and engaging. Remember, this isn't about being secretive or distant, but rather about strategically revealing aspects of yourself over time. This approach can create a sense of excitement and interest, leading the other person to see you as a captivating and valuable presence in their life. Step 4. Allow them to invest in you. This step involves a delicate balancing act where you allow the other person to invest in you, signaling that they need to make more effort to win your time and attention. It's about creating a dynamic where the other person recognizes the value of your presence and becomes motivated to put in effort to keep you in their life. One way to do this is by selectively turning down plans or requests that you can't fulfill. By doing so, you communicate that your time is a precious commodity and not something easily obtained. This encourages the other person to make a more substantial effort to secure your time. Additionally, making them wait for your availability conveys a similar message, underscoring that you have a busy and fulfilling life beyond your interactions with them. This attitude communicates that you're not just anyone and that they need to demonstrate a genuine interest and commitment to having you in their life. Remember that this technique should be used with motivation and care. The goal is not to push the other person away but to encourage them to recognize your value and prioritize your presence. Balancing this approach is essential to maintain a healthy and mutually satisfying relationship. Step 5. Prioritize your needs. This step is about recognizing the importance of self-worth and self-care in the context of relationships. It emphasizes the idea that you should not put yourself in a position where you are not a priority in someone else's life. Instead, it encourages you to surround yourself with people who genuinely value and prioritize your presence. The core principle here is that you have control over how you feel about yourself and the kind of treatment you accept from others. If you consistently find yourself in situations where you're not a priority or your needs are not being met, it's essential to evaluate and potentially distance yourself from those relationships. Seek out connections with individuals who see you as a priority and treat you with the respect and appreciation you deserve. By doing so, you create a support network of people who value your presence and contribute to your well-being. Prioritizing your needs is an act of self-compassion and self-determination, which can lead to healthier, more fulfilling relationships in your life. Remember that it's vital to have the awareness that your actions are right in your eyes and to prioritize your own happiness and well-being. Step 6. Don't make them the center of your life. This step advises maintaining a healthy level of independence and autonomy in your relationships by not making the other person the sole focus of your attention and priorities. By not making the other person the sole focus of your attention and priorities, you actually make yourself more attractive and intriguing to them. This sends a clear message that you are not desperate for their attention and have a fulfilling life beyond your interactions with them. When you maintain a certain degree of distance, it creates a sense of mystery and allure. This dynamic can be quite appealing, as people are often drawn to what they perceive as unattainable or not easily won over. It conveys that you have your own interests, passions, and commitments, which adds depth and richness to your character. While it's important to strike a balance and not become overly distant, this step encourages you to cherish your own pursuits and priorities alongside your interactions with the other person. This approach can lead to a more balanced and mutually fulfilling relationship where both parties value and respect each other's individuality. Step 7. Stop initiating communication all the time. This step encourages a shift in communication dynamics within your relationship. It advises you to stop being the sole initiator of conversations and interactions. The rationale behind this is to assess the level of mutual interest and effort in the relationship. By ceasing to be the constant initiator, you allow room for the other person to express their interest and investment in the relationship. If they value your presence and connection, they will feel motivated to take an active role in maintaining the connection. This step is a practical way to gauge the reciprocity and balance in the relationship. It's important to remember that relationships should ideally be a two-way street, with both parties equally engaged and invested. By allowing the other person to initiate communication, you ensure that their interest is authentic and not just a result of your efforts. Step 8. Create your own happiness. This step highlights the importance of self-sufficiency in terms of happiness and emotional well-being within the context of relationships. It encourages you to cultivate your own happiness and not rely on others to provide it for you. This self-reliance not only leads to a more fulfilling and balanced life but also makes you more attractive to others. The core idea here is that you should be the source of your own happiness and contentment. Depending on someone else for your emotional well-being can lead to disappointment and can also put undue pressure on the other person. When you take responsibility for your own happiness, it frees both you and your partner from the burden of meeting each other's every emotional need. Creating your own happiness makes you more attractive because it conveys a sense of self-assuredness, independence, and inner strength. Others are naturally drawn to people who radiate positivity and confidence. By being self-sufficient in your happiness, you become an even more appealing presence in their life, as they see you as a balanced and confident individual. Step 9. Be willing to walk away. This step centers around the idea of self-respect and setting healthy boundaries in relationships. It encourages you to have the courage to walk away from a relationship or connection if you're not being treated as you deserve. By demonstrating your willingness to walk away, you send a powerful message about your self-worth and what you expect from a relationship. It communicates that you won't settle for less than you deserve and that you prioritize your own well-being and self-respect. This step also implies that the right person for you will recognize your value and make an effort to keep you in their life. They will understand the importance of treating you with the respect and appreciation that you deserve. It's a way of filtering out those who may not truly appreciate you and making space for those who are willing to invest in a healthy and mutually fulfilling relationship. While the idea of walking away from someone you care about can be intimidating, it underscores the significance of maintaining your self-respect and not accepting anything less than what you deserve in a relationship. This step can ultimately lead to healthier, more balanced, and more fulfilling connections in your life. In conclusion, while we all experience moments where we may not be a priority in someone's life, it's crucial to prioritize ourselves. Taking care of our happiness and well-being will lead others to recognize and value us. Remember that even when others don't place you at the top of their list, you can and should give yourself the priority you deserve. This isn't selfishness, it's self-compassion and self-determination leading to healthier relationships and a more fulfilling life. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you found this content rewarding.